Hey guys, I want to share with you what happened last night. We went to one of our many goodbye parties, parties of various sorts and various sizes. This was a more intimate family gathering with some old friends of ours, some family friends, so two families, and they've got two kids, two daughters. One of them is just a little younger than Emily. The other is 3. We had a great time over at their place. One of the happiest families I've ever known. There's just joy emanates from this tidy, compact, efficient, pleasant little group of 4 human beings. It's always such an amazing thing, especially the father. There's just so much life and energy in him, and he's an amazing human being. The family is. Well, anyway, I go on and on. I just love discovering the qualities and the characteristics of individuals, because everyone is. It's cliche to say, but everybody is unique, and it is true. People say it because it's true, and to find the idiosyncrasies of each, and to see how they affect the environment around them, and especially when those characteristics come together to form a family. So, anyway, lovely family. Anyway, the wife speaks English. She's a native English speaker. She lived in London, outskirts of London, for a good part of her childhood, and so she and I were talking last night, and I was asking her about, she's Japanese, her mother and father are Japanese. I asked her, when did she move to London? Now, she told me this stuff years ago, but I had forgotten, and I had particularly forgotten the relevant star situation. I asked her when she had moved to London, and she told me, she pointed at Emily, she's exactly the same age, 13 years old. I was like, tell me more, because this is a ripe opportunity to learn. Although it's the same situation, a generation removed, a country removed, but very similar in many ways. And she explained that her parents had moved over to London when she was 13. She spoke not a word of English. She described English as sounding of music. She was plunked into an average, she described it as pretty much an average English public school, and where there were essentially no others like her in her class. I think she said there was one other person, a non-native English speaker in the entire school, and put down and expected to perform and expected to be a part of it. She said that the people, the teachers, the fellow students were very warm and helpful, and I asked her the particular part that got me. I said, how did you adjust to the difference? And she said it wasn't a matter of, this is the one that really got me. Of course, characteristics and people vary, but so I don't know how Emily's going to adjust. But she said it wasn't that being in that classroom, suddenly surrounded by people who speaking a language she couldn't understand, being given textbooks that she couldn't read, or asked to write essays that she couldn't write. She said that wasn't the thing that got her. Nothing got her, really. She said she just simply was in that environment and began to live that environment, even though she couldn't function, and she lived in it. So it wasn't a matter of being in a situation and how the heck am I going to get through this and struggling to get through it. It was just being in a situation, taking the moments as they came and going along. And she said within a very short period of time, she was beginning to function and operate and become a part of the group. And before long, she became a native English speaker and a British teenager. So of course I can't apply that model and that experience directly to my own daughter, but it was very encouraging, and my friend encouraged us, pointing out that Emily can speak and understand English, not at a perfectly fluent level, but at a very, very high level. That'll give her a great head start. She'll be in class. She'll be able to understand what her new friends are saying to her. She'll be able to participate and speak, and being in that situation should encourage a blossoming of native of development towards becoming a native English speaker. She also thought that the timing was such that Emily would most likely wind up as an American adult. We had that interesting conversation. I asked her, I thought, given your experience when you left, because she left England at 23 and came back to Japan and has been here ever since. So now my friend described it, having 2 minds. She said that she doesn't matter, it's not a matter of she thinks in English, and then translates to Japanese, or vice versa, is that there's two halves, and when she's operating in a Japanese environment, she thinks and speaks in Japanese, and when she talks to people like me, she thinks and speaks in English. There's just a perfect division between the two. Very curious description. So I asked her if she thought she had that when she was a young woman, preparing to leave to come back to Japan. She said no, she was pretty much a London young adult, a British young adult, but had the kernel of her Japaneseness in there. The kernel, she had it in there. But no, also point out that her parents were Japanese, so in her home in London they spoke Japanese, so that was how she was able to keep her Japanese. We're doing the opposite. We're taking her back. No, it would be the same. So we'll be in a Japanese community. But I've read studies that say that if the child stays in the place until about age 8, they'll retrain the language. So, but we got to work at it. We don't want Emily to lose her Japanese. So anyway, I'll just stop at that. Back to work, throwing stuff away, tearing the past apart, and throwing it into the flames ahead of tomorrow. I love it. Yesterday, my wife gave me a pep talk. I just left a note on Facebook encouraging me to be ruthless, and she's even more extreme than me in some ways. And I was realizing that we're both addicted to the experience of creating a life and then destroying it and starting over again. In essence, creating multiple lives over the course of a single lifetime. So let the fun, festivities, and fire and stoke the fires. Let it all continue. Okay, talk to you later. Bye bye.